Yeah.
Alright guys, I'm going to do this video a little bit differently than I have in the past. This is going to be like a John Skinner striper video. If you haven't seen John Skinner on YouTube, you should check him out. He's a very knowledgeable surf casting striper fisherman in the Northeast. So I'm going to basically just narrate this today. I'm going to go over my tips, techniques that I was using to catch these fish, and any time that I go out there using artificials only for striped bass, predominantly here in the summertime on Lake Lanier, Georgia. So as you can see here, I've got multiple rods set up with various spoon sizes and spoon types, as well as swim bait as well as lures like bucktails with swim baits and stuff like that. So right now I've grabbed one of my rods and I'm beating the bottom of the boat. I'm doing a technique we call drumming, and that really creates a lot of attention, and I strongly recommend doing it if you guys don't do it already, especially in the summertime with fishing artificials. It really will bring the fish to your boat. In addition, I'll keep the engine running as well. Alright guys, so I basically pulled up in the mouth of a creek channel on the lower end of Lake Lanier. I've got my conventional Okuma Magda line counter reel paired up with a Ugly Stick GX2 medium heavy casting rod. I got 20-pound Berkley Big Game on there, and the spoon that I'm using is actually a Flutter Jack from Bass Pro Shops in the white or pearl color. This is about 2 ounces and 6 inches long. Guys, these things are $5.99. They're very inexpensive. Yes, you might have to change out the hooks and the split rings and add a swivel to it, but I can tell you that they get down to the bottom very quickly and they're very effective. I highly recommend them. The other benefit to them is that they come in smaller sizes, and like they have a 1.5 ounce that's 5 inches in white. I know some people have had a lot of success with that. So basically here what I'm doing is I'm cranking up, stopping and pausing occasionally, and then cranking up at a pretty fast pace. I'm constantly washing my graph, also drumming in between. But you'll see something that I do that maybe not everybody does, but especially as you pay attention to your graph, a lot of times I'll crank it all the way back up to the surface. I've had fish literally come out of the water in the summertime too, chasing that spoon, and it's literally scared the crap out of me and shocked me. But here I'm cranking it up pretty quickly, and then once I get it up, I drop it back down, and I'm throwing some pauses in there and everything. So here in a second you see what happens. I'm basically just kicking the boat back into reverse to line me up, so I'm really up and down. I like to see what I'm dropping on when I'm fishing these spoons vertically, but doing the crank, pause, crank, pause, crank, and then bam, he hits it. I mean, and he probably hit it, I'm in 120 feet of water, and he probably hit it, and I would say 15 feet down at the most, and then ripped off probably another 15-25 feet of line. So it's pretty cool. I mean, these are bone crushing hits here. So I get him up, and here in a second you'll get to see the Flutter Jack spoon that I was talking about that I use. I use various kinds. I use the Parker spoons, but the most by Nickel Lures. But these Flutter Jacks aren't bad. I know there's a lot of other people out there using this stuff, so check it out. Alright, the other bite that I'm going to show you guys, this is from a different day that I was out there. I'm using lighter tackle. I got a little bait caster here with about 10 or 12 pound braid with a 12-pound fluorocarbon. I've got a Nickel Lures 1 1/4 ounce shattered glass Flutter Spoon on there. This thing worked really well for me this summer. The bite really wasn't that good this summer, but of anything that worked, this thing did. The fish just, I guess maybe they're smaller, but they're keying in on smaller baits, and this seemed to work for me. I was kind of moving it back and forth using that technique. In this case, I drop it down, and I'm kind of waiting there. I'm in like 110 feet of water, and I notice that the line really isn't moving down anymore. So I thinking maybe I'm hung up, but I know the trees aren't down there that much, so I start cranking, and bam, I'm hooked up. I've only had this happen maybe 2 or 3 times, so it's easier to pay attention when it's a heavier spoon, but with this lighter spoon, sometimes it's harder to tell. I actually am thinking about going down to even lighter braid on this, just to have even a little more sensitivity. But basically, that's what happened. This fish hit that flutter spoon on the way down. I've had it happen with the big ones and the little ones. So it's definitely something to pay attention to, and if you see that happen, immediately kick your reeling gear and start cranking up to set the hook. Otherwise he'll get off, which has happened before. So again, this is another sort of schoolie size striper here on Lanier, but it's a striper nonetheless. They're all fun. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful. If you liked it, I'd love to hear your feedback and comments. Please make sure to share it, and stay tuned. I'm going to have some more videos for you guys soon. Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.